All right. So this is, I'm not going to go through the full raid plan that I have here because with the way the stars rotate around the boss and all of that, it's going to be potentially more confusing than it is otherwise. The important takeaways are kind of like how we as a team are going to handle each one. So basically we drop, there's going to be waves that come out, and then we're going to be right into the first devour. We will see 2 devours. Each devour we have to basically spread between 4 different stars. If we have, more than 5 people, so 6 people or more in any given star, we wipe. To the best of my knowledge, it's possible to have fewer than 5. So like if like someone's dead and, you know, circle just has 4 people in it as opposed to 5 people, to the best of my knowledge, that should be fine and not inherently cause a wipe. But if, you know, someone who's supposed to be in circle was mispositioned and runs through diamond as the devour cast is finishing, we wipe because there were 6 people in diamond. So it's very important that you go to the one that you're assigned. The way we will be handling this is we will have someone, probably a healer, but we can also maybe move Soaks around. Like we can move me out of star and put me in circle, and I can do it, for example. But just assume that right now it's this healer. They ping themselves. That indicates they are that indicates essentially the middle point to tell which star is which. So there will be 2 stars to the left that we occupy and 2 stars to the right that we occupy. The one furthest left is going to be 5 people. So this is the mostly 5 ranged players. Yeah, I'll pull it up right now. I'll tell you exactly who it is. Being very, very slow. Okay. So star is currently me, clicks, hallway, balls, and clip. Circle, which is the next one to the left. It'll be right to the left of the healer that pings, or whoever it is that pings. That will be Aqua, Shaka, Chad, Claire, and Dippin. The one immediately to the right, so Diamond, is going to be Al, Iro, Demon, Odin, and EJ. And then Triangle, the one furthest to the right, will be Ryan, Naya, Zercom, Tipper, and Anna. Like I said, it's super important that you go to your correct one, because obviously if you aren't in a star, you wipe the raid. If like someone is just randomly in this star because they were mispositioned and couldn't make it all the way to their assigned star, so they just sit here, congratulations, you wipe us on the next devour, because we only have 3 available stars, because each of these stars will become a black hole, which means that if you touch it, you die. So you have to make sure that you're ready and in position to get to your soak. And you also don't want to go into a star immediately. They do a good bit of taking damage to you while you are within the star as it's rotating around. So, we will be counting down, and you will be going in kind of with like a second left or so on the Devour cast. And then basically right after this, we get the first tank pool and Mythic mechanic. I'll probably end up using Mythic mechanic or gravity interchangeably. They're the same thing. The Mythic mechanic is the reverse gravity that we do on the platforms in P2. We will be handling it in exactly the same way, exactly the same groups, exactly the same positions. So right here, the raid will kind of be getting, you will kind of see the beginnings of the circles. Because you do want to run away from where the tank is going to go. And then the tank will kind of pull you. Melee, you will just kind of walk into the tank to be in position for your Mythic Soak. The healer group, so the middle group, will just kind of get pulled and maybe resist a little bit, and the range group will, resist entirely. This will make more sense when we actually see it in play. And then after that, you'll get another set of waves, and then the next soaks, you kind of do this V positioned where the healer soak is kind of behind, kind of looking into the middle, with the tank kind of afterwards, as the pull is coming out, wants to be kind of in position to kind of pull them over towards this way. Importantly, you just don't want to get hit by a star. And it's the same thing for the next soak and gravity pull. And then you'll get another set of waves into Devour Cast, and you handle those exactly the same way as you have been the whole phase. And then this is the last one. This is important because it's different. Again, how exactly we want to do this, I'm not sure. Some guilds ping the middle group, some guilds ping the melee group, and then you kind of go from there, set up from there. Other groups don't ping themselves at all, and you just kind of know. But basically, you watched the Dratinos video. This is the one that they called Toes. But you have the least amount of space here, so you need to be kind of in between the black. These are now black holes, and you want to be as far back as you can because the tank soak is going to be coming out here soon. So let's watch this in play because it makes a lot more sense when you're actually sitting here watching it. Skip too far. Okay. So you land and you get to a burn phase. You lust. This would be ideally where we lust. Obviously, once we're able to move lust and stuff off of like Pargos platform and stuff. So the burn, and then the stars drop. Watch your health here. We will have healer ramps going during this, but as these stars drop in, it is a fuckload of damage. So, don't fucking just die. Yeah. Kind of self-explanatory. So the rings, we'll be handling them exactly the same way as we do in Heroic. So you see that this one here is left. The whole raid kind of moves left to kind of get hit by it insta. And then they kind of keep going left a little bit to get hit by the next one as their debuff falls off. And then they move back so that way they miss it. Obviously, if you're a warlock, mage, monk, whatever, you can, transcend, port, blink over the wave and dodge the damage entirely, but that's how you handle it. And then, okay. Then right after that is the first Devour. You see that this guy here, he's the pinger guy. So he is pinging himself, indicating that this right here is the middle point. So this star right here will be star, circle, diamond, triangle. So this star over here would be Mike Clicks, hallway balls, flip. This one would be Aqua, Shaka, Chad, Claire, Dippin. This one, Al, Iro, Demon, Odin, and EJ. And then this one would be Ryan, Naya, Zircom, Tipper, and Anna. And you will see, I'll also unmute here. You see them counting down.
3, 2,
or you hear them, to say. And then as they get to 1, you saw, like right as the Devour Cast is going off is when they get in. These stars explode just like they do on Heroic. So here, you will see that the stars are rotating counterclockwise. At least I think this is counterclockwise. And then they go left out of the stars. Anna, you're with the melee, which is also where the tanks are. So you are going to have to blink around and kind of come over here and meet us like right here. You see like the people who were in the tank soak and maybe even the melee soak coming around from the right to meet us here. And then this is the tank pool. You will also see that they have their gravities going out now. So this is what I was talking about. So you will see that the tank is positioning such that we can all remain kind of in this gap between the black hole / star and the boss. So here, the melee soak, which is the one that says right for the weak auras that they're using, is going to be kind of walking into the soak to kind of be where the tank is. The healer soak, which is the one that their weak aura is calling middle, will kind of just slowly get pulled naturally or resist it a little bit, kind of walk against the pool just ever so slightly to be in the correct position. And then the ranged, which for them is being indicated by the left being set in the chat bubble, is going to be resisting kind of entirely. So you see them get pulled. You see, because they did it correctly, they're kind of in the correct spots already for these to go out. You see them, this is the shape that we want to see, ranged, healer, melee. And then they do the positions. Again, these are going to be the exact same positions that we have been doing in P2 the whole time.
Reset position.
And then he is pinging again, so that way they could reset their positions to see where they're grouping. And then they're kind of sitting here pumping, and then another set of rings. They handle it the exact same way. They run left to meet it immediately. Then they're going to move left a little bit to get closer. But you see that they're being careful because this tank is going to knock you, because this is the tank that's actively tanking the boss. So if they get too close to pumps, they are going to get knocked. So they have to be careful not to go too far. And then, same as the last time, if you can get over the wall, just do it. Save yourself and the healer some damage. Okay, right here, this is another set of gravity and a tank pool. This is the first one that is the V kind of shape. Some guilds do the V, other guilds do an L. Both are fine. The important part is that the healer one, or again, for these guys, it's middle, is kind of in the back behind the black holes or the stars, and the ranged and melee or the right and left are going to be up in front of the stars, kind of between them, between the stars and the boss. You'll see them do the wave, and then you see them pre-position for this. And here, it's going to resolve there. And then right after it resolves, the tank pool happens. So all that really matters for that tank pool specifically is that you don't get pulled into a black hole or a star. Just do what you can to avoid that, and you're fine. And then right after that, you're regrouping, and then you're going to get another set of rings to see it be left again. They're RNGing left a lot, this pool. So again, they move left, eat it, and then they're going to move left again, eat this, and then they're going to move back to the wall again, and then they're going to get another tank pool and another gravity set. However, this tank pool, the actual pool, is going to resolve right before the gravity soak resolves. So on this one, you need to be positioned such that you can take your hands essentially off the keyboard and just let the suck take you while your mythic mechanic resolves. So again, the healer one, or middle for them, is going to be in the back. The ranged and melee, the left and right for them, are going to be up kind of in between. You see how the tank positions over here such that they can just get pulled into him without having to worry about getting pulled through these stars. So it just happens. They are not pressing. You can sit here and cast, but you cannot move. Moving is banned because I'm not exactly sure what's causing it. It's probably some mixture of ping and client-side delay. Regardless, it can cause your inputs and your actual character model to desync, which can cause you to die or us to wipe entirely. So on the third set of mythic soaks, or the gravities, just make sure that when you're getting pulled, you are not moving with WASD or mouse or however you move your character, just don't do it. Only cast, please.
Devour coming.
And then right after that, you're getting another Devour. You see him pinging again. So he wants to make sure, two things. He wants to make sure that he is between 4. So he is, in between with 2 on his left and 2 on his right. And he is pinging himself to denote the middle point.
Right.
Again, this would be star. So this would be Mike clicks hallway balls clip. This would be circle. So this would be Aqua, Shaka, Chad, Claire, and Dippin. This one would be diamond, which is Al, Iro, Demon, Odin, and EJ. And this one would be triangle, which is Ryan, Naya, Zircom, Tipper, and Anna. You see,
3.
and then I don't know if you can hear them, but hopefully you hear them counting down. And then once this is done, with essentially they're moving in with less than a second left on the cast. They move in, Devour finishes, and then they go left to kind of live the fall off damage.
Orienting yourself.
We obviously don't have a lot of space here, so you can't go too far to the left, just because of how this wall is the case. So just make sure you live. Press. This is probably a good spot for defensives. We'll also, I believe we have an AMZ here, at least, if not SLT. And then right after this, you're getting another gravity. So yeah, let's run this back. So right after this, you have a couple of seconds until the gravities come out. So this is a group that doesn't ping, right? But if we were to ping, the person would ping where they are, and that would be the middle, right? We'd have someone who is always going to be in the healer soak, so it would be a healer. They would ping, and then the left is going to go here. So the left gravity soak, or the ranged gravity soak, is going to go here. The middle one, or the healer one, is going to go here, in between the black holes. And then the melee one is going to be, is a little bit off screen right here, but they will be between this star or this black hole and the other black hole. And that's going to be the melee, or for them, right. And for this one, there's going to be a tank pool coming, and the tank is going to be on the opposite side of the boss. The melee group, you should be fine to kind of get pulled, but you are going to have to be careful not to get pulled into a black hole. So you might still have to resist anyway. But the ranged and the healer soaks, you guys are definitely going to have to fight against this. So if we listen to them, you should hear him say, turn your, basically run to the wall to resist the pull in.
Gravity now. Start stepping. And turning camera and fighting.
And then turning camera and fighting the pull. Just like that.
Right.
Going right.
And then you heard them call right because the rings are coming out, and that's where the first ring is going to be. This one comes, they're going to go right a little bit. And when you are moving right to get to this ring over here, you want to stutter step to the right at the same speed at which these black holes are rotating around the boss. And as long as you do that, you will come into contact with this second wave at essentially the correct time. You'll see, look at that, just falls off, he gets hit, and then as soon as you get hit, you need to move to the back of the room while still stutter stepping, so that way you don't get hit by the third ring.
Right. Pinging behind me.
And then right here, you're going to get another gravity set along with the tank pool, and it's going to be done the exact same way.
This center.
All personals.
I'm coming up. I'm coming up.
So you saw him ping right there. That's the healer one. This is the ranged one, or left. Healer or middle, and then the right one, or the tank one, is going to be over here.
Fighting this.
I don't know why they don't ping on everyone, but right afterwards, you also hear him say, turn your camera and fight again. Again, the melee one should probably be okay to get pulled in, but just whatever you do, that's not an excuse to get pulled through a black hole. If you have to fight it, just fight it. We should have more than enough damage to kill the boss as long as everyone's alive. Hell, based off of this, even if people are dead.
Going left.
You hear him call left because the ring is left.
Just live now and everything.
This set of rings, the 5th set of rings, you just want to fucking live. Empty the bag and live. boom,
Go back.
boom. Then you want to live it with the same logic as before, and then you kind of just plant here
Good seal.
and kill. There is a world where, depending on our damage, we can beat this
Stepping.
5th set of rings that's coming out here, like 22 seconds from right now. If that's the case, then we kind of just empty the bag here and then do as much as, and then if we get these rings, do as much as we can to live them. But, you know, just plan to be this is where you empty the bag and then beat the enrage as 47 seconds from right here. All right. I know I kind of walked through that fast. That's a bit because we didn't go through the raid plan with the same degree of, I guess, meticulousness as I typically do. But a big part of that is because I don't know how to explain it in this raid plan such that it makes sense in context of all the movement that you have to be doing in this raid. My best advice for preparing for P3 is learn the shapes of each gravity set. Learn where the tank is going to be pulling you from, how much, if at all, you have to resist the pull, and then the shapes. Shapes, how much, if any, you have to resist the pull, and the hands-off set, which is, again, the 3rd set of gravities. Other than that, it's kind of heroic. It's just a lot of damage intake. It's a lot for the healers, so be liberal with your defensives. Don't die with health pot, health stone up. Make sure you're coming in with a plan for your defensives, especially for P3, because it is a very hard phase because of how much damage it is. But it really is just a watch a P3 pull, memorize the movement, memorize how they position for each thing, and you'll be fine. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me on Discord or post in your Raider thread. I will be putting the link to the raid plan and this VOD specifically in Discord, as well as in the description for your ease of access in case you don't feel like opening Discord or whatever. So, yeah. All right. GG's.